What's going on, you guys? It's Nick Johnson, your favorite sports YouTube journalist here, back here with another video, and I'm going to give you breaking news. And I apologize if I sound different because I've been under the weather for the last week, but I've been hanging in there, so bear with me here. So, the breaking news is that Chris Paul, CP3, 35-year-old point guard, one of the best of all time, has just been traded. It has been reported that Paul has been traded to the Phoenix Suns in exchange for a package that involves one of the Suns' first-round picks, Ricky Rubio and Kelly Oubre, and plenty of other assets going in the Oklahoma City Thunder's direction. Now, of course, as we all know, after Chris Paul has had a resurgent All-Star year in his age 35 season, he was expected to get dealt at some point this offseason. Of course, one of the rumors was him being dealt to the Milwaukee Bucks, but that's kind of out of the window because the Bucks at one point stated that they weren't interested in Paul, but that was a scenario that everybody would love to see happen to help the Bucks keep their commitment to Giannis so that they can keep him around the long run so they can build a championship contender around him. Because the way that last season ended up, it was not pretty for the Bucks as well. Now, back to the trade. For the Suns, they get like a future Hall of Fame point guard who's 35 years old, who just came off a resurgent All-Star season, and will basically help a Phoenix Suns squad that's going to be charged by Devin Booker and DeAndre Ayton. Now, this was a Suns team last season that was nowhere thought to be a playoff contending team, but since the NBA canceled the season and finished off the regular season and the playoffs in its entirety in the NBA's bubble in Orlando, Florida, down in Disney World, the Suns, when the restart began, finished out the regular season with an undefeated 8-0 record. Like, seriously. And nobody thought the Suns would ever go on such a run as that. Even though they came short of making that play-in tournament to determine that final playoff spot in the Western Conference, they had an incredible run. And because of that, we decided to not look at them as an afterthought. And with that being said, with this move, I think the Suns have a shot of being a legitimate playoff fringing team, at the very least. So you get a guy who has been a legendary offensive facilitator, who can handle his movements off the ball, and just basically gets everyone involved in the offense, setting screens, cutting to the rim, and just basically generating an offense as a traditional point guard should. You know what I'm saying? Like that Steve Nash type of caliber, you know? And of course, the Suns didn't have that, legit facilitator ever since the legendary Steve Nash from back in the day, you know? So, yeah, this was a good move for Phoenix, in a way. Like I said, I would prefer Chris Paul going to the Bucks because they're like a legitimate championship contender, but, Milwaukee being such a small market, and of course the Bucks didn't want to take on that much money, even though they should have. But for Phoenix, this is a good move, and of course this will probably give rise to another playoff contending team on the rise. So, and that'll be great. And of course, Chris Paul is going to be on the final year of his contract because after this coming season, he has a player option that he can probably decline to test free agency after next season. But that's something to keep an eye on. But it's like a little what if in there. So the Suns, they get a Hall of Fame point guard from the Oklahoma City Thunder. As for the Thunder, a plethora of assets that include a first-round pick from, I believe, one of the first-round picks for this year's draft, if I'm correct. I have to look that up. But also they get a young future asset in Kelly Oubre Jr. Well, many people was decided to be dangled as a trade piece for whatever Phoenix is looking to acquire to make some noise in the Western Conference. And also they get Ricky Rubio. It was just a great, solid role-playing point guard as he has been throughout his entire career, and is one of the most underrated players in the NBA. So this is a really good haul for Oklahoma City to get back as they're once again stockpiling as much assets as they can to look towards the future. This has been like the busy last two off seasons for Oklahoma City in general, ever since They offloaded the contracts of both Russell Westbrook and Paul George in the last summer to basically start over, in which many thought was going to be a rebuilding year when they traded away Paul George to the LA Clippers, for a package that had a plethora of draft picks, like basically almost the entirety of the Clippers draft first round draft picks, in which they don't have a first round pick until 2027, and two assets in Danilo Gallinari, and of course the young 22-year-old shooting guard Shai Gilgeous-Alexander for Paul George. Thunder committed absolute robbery. And then you add that one up further by trading away Russell Westbrook for CP3 and a plethora of draft picks of the Rockets of their own magnitude. The Thunder, they're just basically piling up assets and just adding on towards what could be a long and very prosperous future. So with that being said, I think this trade will work out well with both teams. Now, it'll be interesting to see how the Thunder will look going forward, because like I said, they got Shai Gilgeous-Alexander, which is a guy that you really want to build around, a 22-year-old shooting guard who has much upside and just can only get better from there. And you get like a short-term facilitator in Ricky Rubio and a great playmaker at that. So, and you got a sniper in Kelly Oubre Jr., who can generate a lot for you on offense. So, this is a really good trade for both teams. And like I said, I would prefer to see Chris Paul go into a legit NBA title contender, like either the Lakers, even though that's not going to happen, or the Milwaukee Bucks, which I would love to see happen. But then again, the NBA is just unpredictable, Yeah, so I think this is an interesting trade for both teams, and we'll look to see how well this will translate into this upcoming season. So, once again, Chris Paul has been traded to the Phoenix Suns in exchange for Ricky Rubio, Kelly Oubre, a first-round pick, and other assets. And I like to see how this goes down for the upcoming season. And with that being said, that's the news I have for y'all today. Make sure to hit the like and subscribe button. Make sure to hit that bell button where you get my notifications on when I'm going to upload my next videos. And let me know what you think in the comment section. Do you think the Suns will make some noise with Chris Paul in tow? Do you think the Thunder are just piling on assets to get even better? Let me know what you guys think. So, with that being said, that's all I have for today. With that being said, I'm Nick Johnson, your favorite sports YouTube journalist, and I'm out. Peace.